Please welcome with me Justice Noonan.
Congratulations, graduates and families and friends and faculty. The title of my talk this afternoon is The Trajectory of Champions. And I shall begin with a story. A story from the time that America, the New World, as it was called by Europeans, was being colonized by Europeans. A boy of 8 came with his father from Seville in Spain to Hispaniola, the island now shared by Haiti and San Domingo. The boy grew up and prospered. He acquired land and he acquired Indian slaves. But something was not quite right in his life. A Dominican friar refused him absolution. He repented, reformed, took holy orders, and eventually became a Dominican too. He then devoted himself to describing and excoriating what he saw: the ruthless European exploitation of the natives. He went on to become the resolute and resourceful champion of the Indians. His name, you know it, was Bartolomé de las Casas. The case for his canonization has been begun in Spain. Thousands of miles away at the time, at the University of Paris, a talented theologian, John Major, was defending the Spanish crown in its conquest and enslavement of the Indians. John Major had traveled all the way to France from Scotland. He had never been in the New World. He had never seen what Las Casas had seen. In 1550, Las Casas defended before the Royal Council of the Indies the rights of the Indians against the teaching of John Major and those Spanish theologians who had followed him. I quote from Las Casas: "Mindful that I am a Christian, a religious, and a bishop, I am bound to stand as a wall against the wicked in the defense of a completely innocent people." Las Casas invited John Major to step into the shoes of an Indian. Would John Major then hold that the King of Spain might capture and despoil him? If John Major were an Indian, Las Casas concluded he would abandon his defense of the crown. Las Casas did have a substantial effect on Spanish policy, and he has given a most effective example of how to make a persuasive moral argument. Argue from observation and experience. Evoke empathy. Awaken vicarious responsibility. And put yourself in the position of the victim. Ask what you would say if you were an Indian. I celebrate this champion of humanity with you today as you celebrate the end of a course of studies in the theological tradition that shaped Las Casas. Some of you have vocations as laypersons, others as priests, but your trajectory has been chosen by you. You are called to stand as a wall in defense of human beings. You are all called to put yourself in the shoes of the victims of indifference and self-absorption and human cruelty. As you look back at what you have received here at the Dominican School, and look forward to what you will receive in the years to come, keep in mind a maxim of St. Thomas Aquinas: omne quod recipiter in aliquo recipiter in eo per modum recipientis. Whatever is received by someone is received in him through the modality of the receiver. You know the force of this maxim when you listen to radio or watch TV. What comes through depends on the receiver you are listening to or watching. The sound or picture can't be better than the receiver. The maxim is not confined to electrical equipment. It is true of us human beings as well. It's true of us as we learn, whatever we are learning, be it mathematics or morals. In theology, you study God's message to us human beings. It cannot be received except through our modalities. What we learn cannot exceed our capacities. These capacities, when we speak of morals, include intellectual capacity and, indispensably, the capacity to empathize, to put oneself in the shoes of the other. God's message to us does not change. Its reception does change. It changes with the receiver. When I was a child, I thought as a child, St. Paul writes. He grew up. You were growing up, or are already growing. Human growth cannot be infinite. But there is no ascertainable limit to growth, no final fixing of the modalities of one's brain and heart, no categorical cutoff from the enlargement of your capacity to hear the word of God and to keep it deeper and deeper at all levels of your personality. Your trajectory has been set. Your path is to the patria, the homeland, where, if you persevere, you will be crowned as champions.